Hi everybody, this is Liz with 143 Handmade. Today's mass make is going to be the mini notebooks that we make to put inside of our bigger journals. And I have several different types of cardstock here that we can use for covers. These are obviously coffee stained. I also used alcohol ink on these a little bit. You totally could coffee stain these. I have done that in the past. Fair warning though, if it has glitter on it, let's see, one of these pages, yeah, this page, it has glitter on it. Something with the glue or whatever adhesive they use to hold the glitter down, it sometimes makes the coffee go a little weird on the back. I don't really know what that is, so just fair warning. But I do coffee stain a lot of these index cards. So let's go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe. Hit that little bell for notifications of when my next video comes out, because I don't have a set schedule quite yet other than these Mass Make Mondays. I do have videos coming out every Friday, Monday and Friday at this point. So let's see, to make this journal, all I'm going to do is I'm going to use this coffee stained binder paper. I'm not even sure if this is college wool or ride wool or if there's a combination here. But as you can see, some of it's ripped a little bit. I don't mind that in the slightest. Excuse me. So what I'll do is I will just lay this on here and grab my trusty tearing ruler. Fold it up and make sure that, you know, I've got that roughly the same. Oop, tear there. And then we just rip it. And then you can decide if you want to include the circle or not. I tend to. I like to include the circle, and sometimes I'll even, instead of cutting off this extra, I'll just add it like this as a little flip. And then hold the whole thing. Well, actually, no, let's just go ahead and, sorry about that. Fold this in half on its own. And then fold this in half on its own. And then we'll stick it in there. And sometimes I will just do a single sheet like this in these little notebooks, because you want to keep them super thin so they fit inside of a pocket, but that's still, you know, a decent amount of space, because you've got all of this space here as well as all of this lined area. Sorry about that, I have some coffee ground bits that are still on it. And then to attach it, you could sew it, and I do sometimes, but today for convenience and speed, I'm going to go ahead and use my long reach stapler. I realize not everybody has one of these. My awesome husband got it for me as a Mother's Day gift, or my kids did. You know how that works. Many moons ago when I was homeschooling them. And you can staple this either way, you know, if you want to have the staples be on the inside or the outside. Oh, I got that one too far over. Let's see. Okay, I got the second one good, so I'll go ahead and pick this first one out. Let's see, I have a staple remover. I'm going to slide in there. And it just opens it up really nicely, and then slip it on the back side, and boom, done. And so, let's see, I did that other staple from this side, so I'm gonna do that consistently on this journal at least. Yeah, okay, see, there we go. Got them, you know, roughly on the spine. This one was a little too far over, but I don't even care that there's those extra little holes there. It really, that will not get in the way of using this as a journal, journaling space. And it's, you know, big enough to really write in. I've seen a lot of people make these, and they make them just so small that it's like, I don't understand how you're going to fit more than just a single word on each one. So let's see, I think what I'm going to do is switch it up and just fold these that I'm going to use. Let's see, I'm trying to keep these videos down to 10 to 15 minutes at this point. I don't actually have a clock where I can see it yet, but I have my tablet set up with the stopwatch running, so I can see how much time. So I should get better at keeping to a consistent amount of time. Okay, so this one's not lined on the one side, so I'm going to go ahead and fold it with the line on the inside, so that way all of the lines, you know, because I'm going to use the lined paper on the inside, so that way all of the lines are on the inside. So let's go ahead and create papers for this one. And again, I'll just line it up. Sometimes I do it, you know, with this on top or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and just do a rather large overhang here, and see, that actually puts me right on one of these lines. So I can just make sure that I've got that lined up on that one line. And I really like the torn edge, so that's why I prefer to tear, but if you would prefer to cut, please do so. There's not really like a right or a wrong here. If you want to put, you know, 4 pages in yours instead of just the singles, you know, do that. Do whatever makes you happy in this situation. There is no wrong way to make one of these little journals. So I do try and keep it, you know, things right side up when there's an obvious right side up, like with this, the index card, you've got that red line that's, you know, at the top. And let's see, let's try just doing a single staple in this one from the inside out. Let me see if I can get that lined up. Yeah, there we go. And then I might cover that with just a little something. Hang on, my dogs are freaking out about something. Everybody, I'm back. There was somebody driving down the road in a loud truck, and my dogs, you know, had to tell me all about it. So, but as you can see, this one, it wasn't quite dead center, which, you know, is totally fine, but it, you know, it's not the prettiest thing in the world either. So I'm just going to cover it with this little bit of paper here. Use, you know, whatever glue works in your climate, because I have been watching you know, a bunch of different YouTube channels, and it's funny that the differences that people have with glues in different areas. So if you see a recommendation on YouTube, you know, take it with a grain of salt, because you never know, you know, unless you know that you live in a similar climate to the person that is recommending it. Don't hold your, you know, go ahead and try it, but don't hold them accountable if it doesn't work the same in your area. That's all I'm saying, because the different climates really do make a big difference in how the glues work. You know, the humidity levels make a vast difference. I know that there's a big difference in the performance of glues here in Oklahoma, in the United States, between a humid summer and a dry summer. There is a big difference in how my glues work, which is why I prefer the Fabrifix, because it's a silicone glue, and I don't have as much difference between how it works in the summer versus a humid summer versus how it works in a dry summer. So there we go. We've got 2 finished. Let's see, we're right at about 10 minutes. I think that you guys get the idea. You know, you could really get through a lot of these if you're making them all the same size. You know, you just fold your covers and then, you know, grab your paper and, you know, mass make a bunch of pages. You know, tear them all together, tear a stack instead of just a single like I did before. Find my ruler. Again, I'm just going to use the guideline of one of the lines that's in roughly the right spot. Oh, shimmied a little. But, you know, it doesn't matter because of what we're making. And see, now I've got 2 pages that I can use. And this one, you know, or I could just put one page in each like I've been doing. So there we go. Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with the one page with the fold out for the sake of this video. And you can put 1 or 2 staples in. It's really, you know, personal choice. I don't think it makes a huge difference with these little bitty ones, because they're not going to take a lot of wear and tear. You know, these are the kind of things that you take out, you write in it, and you tuck back away. You don't really, you know, hang on to it and get it in and out. It's not the kind of thing that, you know, you would stick in your purse and take with you. So I'm just gonna make this the width of the ruler, which is actually, I think it's just over an inch, or right at about an inch. Yeah, it's at an inch. So maybe a little bit wider than the ruler. Just gonna rip a couple of strips and glue them on. You could use glue stick for this. I tend to favor the Fabrifix when staples are involved, when you've got that air gap that's created by the height of the staple. The glue sticks just don't seem to really like that. You know, they really want to be held flat against whatever, you know, gluing 2 flat pieces are together nicely. But when you've got that gap in there, they tend to you know, not do quite as good. So here we go. Just fold this over. Just a little bit on the long side. There we go. And my scissors are not, oh, here they are. Here's a pair of scissors. I'll just cut that off. There we go. Got another one. So there we go. And let's see, I wanted to show how I do what I do with these. This is a smaller piece. Let's see, let's see, these bigger ones were 4.5 by 6.5. This little one, it's a 6 by 6. So what I'm going to do is get it lined up over here where it's a little easier for me to see, as opposed to in the corner. And because it's a 6 by 6, I know that the 3-inch mark is the center, but not that it matters. You can make, you know, you can make one 4 inches and one 2 inches high. You know, it's really up to you. I'm just going to rip it. You could totally just fold it in half and then cut it. You know, either way. Like I said, I really prefer the torn edge, you know. And so now we've got these little 3x3s, and I'm gonna grab, let's see, I have some of this. This is really thin paper from an Office Depot bag. So this, you know, was trash in, you know, in most people's respects. And so we are upcycling this. I'm just going to cut it right, or tear it right above that printing. So now we have a perfectly blank sheet page, you know, to put in here. And you could, if you're just doing the single page, you could, in fact, let me wipe off the tip of my glue so I can get a really thin line. Just glue right down the center with a high quality glue. I honestly don't know how well that would work with, you know, say Elmer's, or, you know, any of those, the white school glues. I really don't know, but I know that this works with the Fabrifix. I've done this lots of times. And you just rub off the excess glue. That's one of my favorite parts about the Fabrifix, because you don't have to worry about the excess glue. Just fold it, and get a good smash on that glue. And then see, now we've got, you know, this page that is glued in. There we go. you know, have to pull it up a little bit where that excess glue went. Okay, there we go. So, there you go. As you can see, you don't have to staple it. You totally can glue it. I'm going to go ahead and grab another sheet of this. And let's see, I know that's a 3-inch cover, so I'm just going to line this up on my mat, roughly anyways. And then I know it's 3 inches, so I know I want it to be shy of that. So this line is actually like barely shy of that, so I'm going to go halfway in between the next two lines and have that be my page. I'm going to line it up like so. And this one I'm going to bring in the stapler. Oh, I shifted funny. You know, clamps work really nicely here. Let me get it lined up and staple. I got it right there on the seam this time with the staple part, you know, the not so pretty part on the inside. And then, let's see, do I want to fold that in? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fold that in because it is kind of a small one. So I want to give maximum writing space. And there we go. So thank you very much for joining me today. We've managed to make, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 complete journals, and then we've got several more covers folded, and I've got all this stuff. So, you know, in a half hour, you know, I'll be able to, without having to talk so much, I'll be able to get easily a dozen of these made. So thank you very much for joining me.